Good day, fair dungeon explorers. I'm Fox's Pancakes, and today I'll be guiding you through my experience with Deep Dungeons of Doom. Deep Dungeons of Doom is a simple RPG arcade action adventure game of sorts where you, the player, enter various dungeons, if that wasn't obvious, in efforts to purify the land of evil creatures that have taken over your beloved kingdom. When I called this game an arcade game, I meant it in the sense of, like, I could see this being in a video game arcade. The controls are incredibly simple, the art style is reminiscent of older arcade games, and it's a level-based sort of game. Each level of the dungeon that you go through has a chance of being a monster, a treasure chest, or a shrine. Treasure chests yield items which you can only carry one consumable and one equipable item. Consumables, aside from potions, cost 1 point of magic to use, while equipable items give your character a boost. Shrines sometimes give your characters a buff and heal your character. Pretty simple. Fighting monsters is the latter part of the game, and it requires a small amount of attention to pull off properly. Your attack speed is determined by this little cooldown meter in the bottom right corner, and you have to time it right to get damage off. In order to block damage, you have to time your block with your opponent's animation that gives away when they're about to attack. I noticed that after you attack, there's a split-second cooldown on the block ability, which can be a bit frustrating to deal with, and really makes you have to be patient with the game, which is something that I have issues with. Through the course of a dungeon, you're given the option to increase your character's stats momentarily, such as increasing their health, damage, speed, or magic capacity. At the beginning of the game, you're given the Crusader class, who has the highest overall health of the characters with mediocre damage and slow attack speed. After that, you get the Mercenary and the Witch. The Mercenary is a fast attacking character with low damage and health, while the Witch is a sort of middle ground between the Crusader and Mercenary as far as attack speed goes, but has the highest base damage, but relies on magic to get that high base damage. The thing is, with this game, there really only seems to be one overall viable class, and that's the Crusader. Maybe that's because I only played the game for an hour, my judgment is based off of what you're presented with in the beginning of the game. In the game, there's a skill where you can purchase better abilities for each character, such as health or magic regeneration per floor, but the cost of such abilities combined with how tough it is to amass 200 gold make it hard to see the other classes as useful. The Mercenary has such low health and attack damage that it takes him forever to kill anything, while the Witch is useless without magic and becomes as weak as the Mercenary without it. That being said, this game is very much enjoyable for its classic art style and approach to combat, even if it gets boring and repetitive because of its lack of early character diversity. If you're into casual arcade RPG style games, then it's definitely worth the $5.50 price tag. Thank you guys so much for watching, and before I roll the outro, I just want to say that I'm sorry for the slightly shorter video this month. I was trying to get footage for other games, namely The First Tree and Pyre, both of which I could not record properly, so I had to turn to something else, and this was the best I could come up with what little time I had to record, and I'm sorry that it's a bit subpar compared to my other videos. But I hope you guys are having a great summer, winter, or space cycle, depending on what your relative position to the Earth. And I'll see you on the flip side. Goodbye.